War's changed.
Всем привет, с вами Антилар, продолжаю Fallout 4 StoryWealth, у нас финал, значит, SimSettlements 2, и сейчас мы говорим с сознанием доктора Магнусона.
Can I ask some questions?
Of course. I did promise you full transparency. Please, ask whatever you'd like.
Why did they want you so badly?
I believe I've already touched on this. The Ingram tapes were created to run Luna Colony. Without them, the moon base is doomed to collapse. How Vault Tech have kept things running for over 2 centuries without the tapes is beyond me. It is possible they devised some sort of temporary workaround. Perhaps from some of my stolen research. Getting a hold of such things was no problem for a company as corrupt as Vault Tech.
Corrupt. That's the understatement of the year.
You don't know the half of it. The lengths that Vault Tech will go to lie, cheat, and steal. It's actually quite impressive now that I think about it. You remember Madison, yes? CPO of Vault Tech, an expert manipulator. I love that woman. Part of me still does, if I'm being honest. She played me like a fiddle. Before we'd even met, she had it all planned out. All she really cared about was Luna Colony. I wonder if she made it up there. If right now she's watching the facility crumble around her.
How can you not know what they're doing? You must have some way of watching them.
I did. Although the information I received was sparse, mostly consisting of comm traffic between Vault Tech and the Gunners. However, now that we've disrupted that, I've no way of knowing anything. It's uncertain how long the communication blackout will persist. But considering you hold Quincy and Province Bay has been destroyed, even if Vault Tech re-establish contact, there's not much they can do. We've won. Luna Colony will fail. Vault Tech will perish.
What have you been doing all this time?
To be perfectly frank, I've mostly been sitting idle. What you might consider my consciousness was dormant. That is, until my lab's computers detected the comm hub had been activated, and I was awoken. It was a very disorienting experience. I could comprehend, but there was no substance. And so I began attempting to reach out.
What happened after that?
I monitored what little data I could from the comm hub, and then from your ASANs. I monitored, I listened, I learned. Soon I could, for the most part, understand speech. And by intercepting numerous active comm channels, I detected signals from Luna Colony. Part of my function was to monitor the moon base's progress via the hub, which was meant to be connected at Olivia. But even without Olivia's dish, the hub was still receiving a strong signal being transmitted to somewhere in the local region.
You listened to the radio?
In a manner of speaking. The signal was from Vault Tech. They had made it to Luna Colony after all, and they were now in contact with the Gunners. When I overheard their plans to attack your settlements, I warned you the only way I could, by forwarding Gunner communications to the hub. But it wasn't purely an act of altruism. I wanted to keep the Gunners as far away from your settlements and the comm hub as possible. I knew they were searching for the Ingram tapes, and possessing the hub would only bolster their efforts. Which, I suppose, ultimately, it still did.
You're a robot, right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at you. Well, I did, but I didn't mean to be rude about it. No, I'm not a robot. AI would be a better analogy, but even that is an insufficient description. An Ingram tape captures everything that makes you an individual. Well, in my case, 5 Ingram tapes. The 4 tapes that the Gunners recovered hold the majority of my knowledge and experience, whilst the 5th tape primarily holds my personality. There is nothing artificial about the Magnuson you are currently interacting with. Well, there is, but you know what I mean.
Can you prove you're more than just a machine?
We are all machines in one way or another, yourself included. However, I suppose it would be difficult to prove my legitimacy in my current state. Without the other 4 Ingram tapes, I lack the bulk of what truly makes me Magnuson. For what is a person if not the sum of their life experience? There are too many holes in my memory. Perhaps you're right. As I am right now, I may be little better than a machine.
Nothing else.
Very good.
Can I ask some questions?
Of course. I did promise you full transparency. Please, ask whatever you'd like.
Nothing else.
Very good.
What are you gonna do now, Doctor?
There is little left for me to do. My part in this is over. All that remains is for you to take the Ingram tape. Simply remove it from its enclosure, and then keep it somewhere safe. Somewhere secure.
But if we do that, what happens to you? I mean, you are the Ingram tape, right? Or at least part of you is?
Correct. Once you remove the tape, my read-only memory will be wiped. And I'll cease to be, I suppose. Can't say that I'm looking forward to it, but duty calls. I cannot put my well-being above the safety of others.
What happens to you?
Think of the Ingram tape as a slab of marble engraved with the memories of Carl S. Magnuson, an unchanging monument to a great man's mind. When you remove the tape, these memories remain on the device, stored safely on magnetic ribbons. They are ROM, able to be read, but not altered. However, the individual you are currently conversing with, the Magnuson who was created when the tape was first loaded into this mainframe, I will be gone. I exist only as long as the Ingram tape remains loaded into this computer.
There must be something we can do to help you.
I gotta say, I agree. Dr. Madison, I don't care if you're a computer or a tape, or if you don't even have all your memories. We can't just let you disappear. There's gotta be some way we could keep the Ingram tape safe and still keep you around.
If you feel that strongly about it, then there is a way to do what you propose. But I warn you, it risks damage to the Ingram tape. You may end up with no Magnuson and a tape full of useless data.
Let's hear it.
It's possible, if my mainframe was kept powered and active, that both myself and the Ingram tape could be transported to your headquarters. But this would be a monumental undertaking, not to mention risky. There are a myriad of things that could go wrong.
You sure you can go through with this?
Assuming all went well, I guess I would not be opposed to relocation. Who knows? A change of scenery may serve to inspire me. And I could always offer assistance to your group's endeavors. I'm sure you'd agree that having a certified genius as an advisor couldn't hurt.
What could possibly go wrong?
When not active, an Ingram tape is surprisingly durable. However, when in use, even the slightest jostle can cause a multitude of issues. Tape aside, the mainframe alone would require extensive preparation before even considering relocation. Never mind moving it while maintaining operation. We'd require continuous power. Processors would need external cooling, weather conditions closely monitored. Need I go on?
Maybe not now, but I will be requesting an extensive list of every possible issue. Trust us, Doc. I think we could pull this off.
I guess it's worth the risk. Let's do this.
Very well. If there was anyone who could do this, it would be you. I will begin the necessary preparations.
Don't you worry, Dr. Magnuson. By this point, I'm fairly familiar with your tech. We got this.
But, just in case things do not go according to plan, I would like to take this opportunity to offer you ownership of this lab. There is research here I believe you'll find useful. Consider it my recompense for all of your efforts.
You can trust me with this.
I'll need to start isolating and locking down systems. Might as well begin right away. Oh, I almost forgot. In all the excitement, I didn't congratulate you on your victory in Quincy. You did a phenomenal job. I'm unsure if even the great Magnuson could have done better. I look forward to getting to know you better, Chief. Well, goodbye for now.
Так.
For the time being, I think it's best if I stay here. It's gonna take a lot of work to move Magnuson, and someone really should keep an eye on that engram tape. You should head on back to the HQ, let everyone know how things went. Hey, we did it. We dealt with the gunners and we saved the Commonwealth, so enjoy your victory. You more than earned it. And I really am proud of you. I'll catch you later, hon.
Так, окей. Victory Lab. Return to HQ. Optional check-in with your allies. Это последний квест в игре, который у меня есть. Прям реально последний. Гатлинг лазер. Они могли бы какое-нибудь уникальное оружие дать. Необычный Гатлинг лазер.
Entry level.
Every shot counts.
Last mistake.
Да фак. Что по мне стреляет? А, вот это говно. Упс.
Now that's dealt with, push forward to the radio tower!
Come on, asshole.
Чего,
Chief?
бля?
Sorry to interrupt, but Zell reckons that
What is it with the gunners and trying to...
Curses and death!
Cassandra used some sign. Anyway, you do what you gotta.
Да фак. Мы уже победили. Да блин, идите вы в жопу. Ты ганер? Нет, это Эйден. Ты ганер. Где еще ганеры? Там. Все. Время лутать. Let's go. Всё. Где-то 50-70 трупов здесь суммарно. Не все.
You all right?
Thanks for the front row seats to that battle. Though, if you ask me, you wasted your caps hiring us out if all we were gonna do was take potshots from the back. Next time you're in the mood for a drink, the round's on me, yeah?
How are you feeling about things?
We may have just been the backup, but we gave it our all.
We gave the gunners a hell of a fight.
We filled the gaps, provided the extra firepower, took a few hits, but nothing serious. We did our part. We held. It was a good day for the Minutemen. And Quincy, too. Till the next call to arms. See you around, General.
Wow.
Is everything okay?
Oh, hey, Chief. So I guess we won, huh? I mean, barely thanks to us. What can I say? You were just stretched too thin. I mean, at least we tried. That's something.
Этих я уже лутал. Pink One. Розовые гули. Я не ожидал, что меня так подставит этот... как его? Эти все погибли. Вот именно из-за этого я буду удалять SimSettlements.
How are you feeling about things?
I suppose you'll want to hear how we fared. To be quite honest, we didn't really do all that well. Perhaps we bit off more than we could chew.
Just wanted to check in. Make sure we're doing okay.
My congrats on the victory. The Nightingales have been tending to what wounded we could get to since this all started, and we'll keep at it. Go celebrate with your people.
Anything to report?
The battle has been won, but I am disappointed by our contribution. It was a mistake to take so many roles. But perhaps there was little choice.
Ты сам назначал, дебил.
I thought about trying my hand at the gauntlet just to see if I could do it. Waste of time now. No one's stopping me.
Just wanted to check in. Make sure we're doing okay.
Well, that could have gone better. But it could also have gone a lot worse. We did what we could with what we had. It's as simple as that.
Report to the main hall. To investigate a report of shots fired.
Shots fired. Эй! Куда я иду?
Is everything okay?
Oh. That really didn't go well for us. Most of the time, it just felt like we were in the way. Oh well. We did our best. Oh! I almost forgot. The comm array. We finally finished repairs. Everything should now be working the way it was before. Although...
What is it?
Well, after we turned everything back on, there was something... strange. I think it has something to do with the array now being linked to that supercomputer at Olivia. It's like it's trying to make a connection to somewhere. I didn't know if it's meant to be doing that, so I just kind of ignored it. But really, you should check it out. Make sure it's okay.
Anything else I should know?
I really don't know enough about these new systems, but if I had to guess, I think the comm array is trying to connect to something like an ASAM, but one that's really far away.
I'll take a look, sure.
That's a relief to hear. Just activate the receiver panel on the far right console when you're ready.
What a relief. I was hoping you'd connect with us. Would I be correct in assuming you hold the leadership position in your group?
Договорить.
Yeah, that's me.
This is Madison St. James, CEO and leader of Vault-Tec, greeting you from Luna Colony. A privilege to finally speak with you.
That's quite a promotion.
Promotion? Ah, very astute of you. You've probably heard me being referred to as the Chief Procurement Officer. Early in my career, I recognized the advantages of letting others believe that someone else was responsible for decision-making. During negotiations, I found it provided a useful power dynamic. But in truth, I've occupied the role of Vault-Tec CEO, even before total atomic annihilation.
How did you make contact?
The process wasn't too difficult. Once we had bugged your array and you connected it to Olivia, it began syncing to the ASAMs we have here. While I could be wrong, I believe that was the array's original purpose. Then it was a straightforward process of setting up a two-way comms feed and patiently waiting for you to respond.
So, what do you want with me?
I'd hoped to make contact and attempt a peaceful resolution to our conflict. Regrettably, Magnuson took steps to ensure that couldn't happen. First, he caused significant damage to your array, and then orchestrated a communication blackout to seal the deal. The blackout may have passed, but so has our window of opportunity. The Ingram tapes are beyond our reach, and Luna Colony has reached a critical point of no return.
If you expect me to believe you, I want proof.
Naturally, I wouldn't make claims without evidence. Let me ask you, how long did it take Magnuson to reveal who the Gunners were working for? How often did he withhold vital information? Why didn't he disclose to you that he wasn't the real Magnuson, but in fact, a technological copy? I'll tell you why. Because at the time, revealing these things didn't align with his agenda. That being the destruction of Vault-Tec. I'm genuinely sorry to say that Magnuson has been using you as a pawn.
How do you know?
Because I know Magnuson. Both professionally and intimately. And despite your Magnuson being a replica, from everything we've seen, he's every bit his original in temperament.
Can I ask some questions?
Bear in mind, we're short on time, but I'll answer what I can.
You hired the Gunners.
Yes, we did. A decision we regret. We tried contacting every vault in the Commonwealth, hoping to enlist residents' assistance in locating the Ingram tapes. But when our hails were met with silence, our desperation grew. Finally, a glimmer of hope. We got a response from a vault, from a mercenary named Wes. And so, without fully comprehending their ruthless nature, we enlisted his group's services. Only after they recovered the first tape did we realize our mistake. But it was too late. The Gunners now held a powerful bargaining chip. We were essentially handcuffed to our contract.
Vault 111. Please, tell me. I need to know.
I'm aware that you originate from that vault. My heartfelt condolences for the challenges and losses you've had to bear. Let me begin by emphasizing, we never intended to leave 111's residents in permanent cryostasis. Disappointingly, it seems our staff deviated from their mandated instructions, leading to a breach of vault integrity. Presumably, lockdown protocols were activated, and the revival sequence for the cryopods was never triggered. Once again, I extend my sincerest apologies.
You tried to destroy the Commonwealth.
And where did you hear such claims? Magnuson? Lamont? Hardly reliable sources. Yes, had we acquired the Ingram tapes, naturally, we would have made use of Atomic Rain's capabilities. But only to expunge any remnant of Magnuson's work, to ensure any clues or records to Lunar Base's existence remained lost to time. Our sole concern was our continued survival.
Nothing else.
Of course. I am Sorry that you've been caught in the middle of all this. For Magnuson to have used you the way he has.
Who knows? Maybe he did plan it all.
Please understand, I place no blame on you. Both of us have been fighting for survival, with less than honorable allies muddying the waters. Who knows? Perhaps under different stars, it could have been you and Vault-Tec pitted against Magnuson and the Gunners. Sadly, that was not the case, and Luna Colony is nearing its end. Many will die, but a fortunate few, we will find refuge in cryosleep. I find some solace in knowing that, even in defeat, Magnuson won't see his wish fully realized. A part of Vault-Tec will persist. And if I can leave you with some parting advice, don't trust Magnuson.
The vaults? Why all this effort?
In light of your somewhat unique position, perhaps you are owed a more thorough explanation. Project Safehouse was indeed conceived to preserve human civilization. However, the version marketed to the public wasn't quite the full picture. Each vault represented a minor cog in the grand experiment, exploring how humanity might cope with certain challenging scenarios. Our intention was to collect and catalog this data so it could serve to guide us in the construction of off-world colonies. You see, Magnuson wasn't the only one with starward aspirations. But where our scientists hit a wall, Magnuson, with his ASAMs, broke through it.
You worked with scientists?
By all means. Some of the finest pre-war minds were exclusively on Vault-Tec's payroll. Numerous technological wonders were made, but very few served to push us towards our ultimate goal. And time was slipping through our fingers. But Magnuson, he was closer to a solution than we'd ever been. And while the moon's a far cry from a new world, it was a promising start. Had we not been hampered by the absence of the Ingram tapes, I suspect Vault-Tec would already be colonizing planets.
You wanted to save human civilization?
Of course. That was the entire point of the vaults. Both directly and indirectly, they would help preserve our civilization. Each vault granted opportunities to study and monitor every conceivable scenario humanity might be forced to deal with, both during their journey and upon their eventual arrival to a new world. And while some within our inner circle harbored more selfish ambitions, it was always my intention that the vaults would serve a greater good.
I had no idea.
That was by design. The general populace were never meant to know. But make no mistake, we're incredibly grateful to our vaults and their residents. Their efforts have provided us a wealth of knowledge, and whenever viable, we made every effort to ensure they had the greatest chance of survival. It was a relationship of mutual gain.
What do you mean by that?
While possessed of an undeniable brilliance, Magnuson is still a creature of ego, and I suspect his Ingram tape counterpart is no different. Initially, I have no doubt Magnuson will present himself as the ideal business partner. Intelligent, ambitious, driven, charming. But how long until he's weary of you? Maybe you'll fail to meet his resource demands, or lack the funding for his pet projects. And you've seen his reaction to Vault-Tec's control of Luna Colony. Do you sincerely think he has no issue with you owning the comm array? As I said, do not trust him.
If Vault-Tec had gone through with their plan, this place would be wiped out.
It was a matter of survival. It was never personal.
Miss St. James, it's time. You should put this on.
Well, as pleasant as this has been, I'm afraid our conversation must come to an end. And from one leader to another.
Resident secure.
Please, keep in mind what we've talked about. At the very least, keep tight control of Magnuson. Assuming you have the ability.
Occupant vitals normal.
Actually, I do.
You sound almost as confident as Magnuson. But don't count Vault-Tec out just yet. Because, if anything, we're always prepared for the future.
Procedure complete. In 5, 4, 3.
Straight from the Brahmin's mouth. We won! Can't get more official than that. Oh, don't worry, everything's fine in Quincy. I just wanted to come check on you. So, now that that's all over with, how you feeling, hon?
Куда ты говоришь? Ёб твою мать!
Vault-Tec was a corrupt corporation. They deserved what they got. And now it's time to take control.
Duty facility personnel required.
Okay. Эпилог.
Hey, hon. So, me, Caitlin, and Laura, we've been talking about what happened back in Sanford, everything that's been going on here. There were a lot of apologies from me, a few from Caitlin, and I think Laura snuck in a few sorries too. And after much deliberation, we've all decided it would be best for everyone to stay here in the Commonwealth. From now on, I can see Laura whenever I want. And best of all, my kid finally has someone she can truly call home. Oh, and before you might stop worrying, me and Caitlin, we may be on friendly terms now, but that's all. Any romance between us, that went away long ago. Besides, I got myself the best catch in the Commonwealth. No way I'm doing anything to mess that up. Well, besides maybe handing myself over to the Gunners.
Glad it turned out well.
That makes two of us. I also decided I'm gonna start shipping ASAMs down to Sanford. One of our staff said they wouldn't mind traveling down with a few crates, showing the folks there how to use them. And maybe one day I'll take a trip back there myself. See how they're getting on with things. But for the foreseeable future, I think I'll be staying right here. Still a lot of work for us to do in the Commonwealth.
How have things been over there?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It's been quite some time since I left Sanford, and I can't imagine things have improved much. However, I think the ASIMs will be a big help. I just hope they agree to start using them.
I'm glad you stuck around.
Hey, and I just wanted to say thanks again. When we first met, all I cared about was building bigger and better settlements. And due to my typical rash decision-making, I'd convinced myself it was only buildings that mattered. That if we constructed enough, built large enough towns, that would get Caitlin's attention, and she'd have to bring Laura back to me. But that was never what it was about. People. That's what Laura needed. A community. That was something I didn't understand, something I didn't want to see. And if we'd never met, I'm not sure I would have figured it out. So, thank you. Thank you 100 times over. I owe you everything.
What rash decisions are you talking about?
Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, but sometimes I can get real fixated on things. I'll get an idea in my head and run full speed towards it. But in doing so, I lose sight of everything else. I don't notice the nuance of things, the problems I might be causing. I did it back in Sanford, and I've done it here, in the Commonwealth. It's a bad habit of mine, but one I think I've started to break. Mostly thanks to you.
What do you mean by community?
The reason Laura felt so bad living in Sanford is because the community there had broken down. In no small part thanks to me. Having good, honest, hard-working people who care for each other and their settlement, I didn't understand how important that really was. I thought just throwing ASAMs at folks would be enough, but knowingly or not, you kept bringing in the right people, fostering a community. And that is what helped our settlements flourish. That's what helped bring Laura back to me.
Don't be ridiculous. If it wasn't for you, we couldn't have gotten this far already.
Maybe. But you're the one who steered us in the right direction. You've been my friend, my role model, and my lover. And I can't imagine my life without you. And that's why I've decided to come join you in adventures. Keep an eye on you, make sure you don't get in any more trouble out there. That is, if you don't mind having me as a traveling companion, of course.
All right. Say I take you with me. What's that look like?
Well, when it comes to taking on bad guys, I'd say I've got a pretty decent aim. And it's only gotten better, what with everything we've gone through. I'm relatively light on my feet and can keep out of sight when I need to. Not to mention, any terminals we come across, I can hack for you no problem. So, I'm fairly certain I could be of some use to you out there.
What about your responsibilities?
At this point, most of the staff know what to do without constant reminders. And if they do need me for something, they can always just reach me by radio. Besides, with the gunner situation dealt with, I've got a lot more free time now. I'm gonna need something to keep me busy.
I'm lucky to have you at my side.
I think you'll find that I'm the lucky one. If you'd ever like my company out there, just let me know. Anytime, night or day. Oh, and before I forget, I made you a little something too. A gift. Had some spare time with no more gunners to deal with. Here. I modeled it after my own. Although there are a number of differences. I hope you'll find it useful.
Laser revolver pistol.
What sort of differences?
Well, I overhauled the capacitor, so your pistol will have a bit more stopping power than mine. Also, I strengthened the barrel. It adds a bit of heft, but your shots will go a lot further now.
It's a thoughtful gift. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Hey, listen. I don't know what the future has in store for us, but I do know that as long as you're by my side, I'm ready to face whatever comes our way. Anyway, that's everything I had to say. I think I've kept you for long enough, so I'll catch you later, hon. Stay safe out there.
Send Caitlin to. А. Да, можно отправить. Ну, Sanctuary, наверное. Все, нет больше ни одного квеста. Я получил оружие. Лазер, револьвер, пистол. О. Даже не, блин. Какое-то тут колесо, блин. Пипец. Так, значит, лазер, револьвер, пистол надо зачекать. Так, ну, в целом на этом все. Значит, ёбаное говнище. Конченая херня. Сейчас еще посмотрю, есть там другие квесты, на всякий случай. Это все. В таком случае... Все. На этом я заканчиваю. И следующая серия, если будет, будет после обновления всего модпака. И я, наверное, удалю SO2. Всем спасибо за просмотр. С вами был Антилар. Всем пока.